Welcome back, new episode. We're just hitting, I think we're actually only advanced one day since hitting high level regional. We had shows back to back. GFC 37, which is one day before this. We're going to have to try and get our scheduling sorted out a bit better, to be honest, because we had no shows in January and we won't really have any shows in, I think, maybe April, March time, maybe. But this one is obviously our first in high level regional. We should take pop again. We're obviously focusing more on taking money now, so I can open an advertising broadcaster. But a decent card. We got pretty much debuts and guys with scuff records on the bottom of the card. Then we got Harry Milne against Mortel. Hopefully Harry can win to boost up his momentum a little bit. Then we got same situation with Perry Shearer, hoping to get him back on winning ways. We got Janis Popic, who was part of worst fight of the year for 1990 against Nestor Morozov, who won submission of the year. Both of these guys, I believe, are 1-for-1. So, interesting fight there. And then we pretty much have, hopefully, wins for Anasina to become one in contention for the next welterweight title shot. We got Akihida to win, to stay unbeaten. The exact same for Marazina, Martin, and Malfi-Robbie. If Marazina wins his fight, he'll actually be next in line to fight Gorshin for Gorshin's first title defence if he beats Batista, which is not the worst guy, to be honest. 3-1, 32 years old. And Martin is kind of in a similar situation in middleweight, but he's got old man Kuroki to go up against. Kind of similar to Batista. Like fairly well rounded but not great at anything, a bit like Mantis Andreev as well. And there's one or two other guys. But we'll see how that goes. Hopefully Malfi-Robbie can get the job done too, to boost him up in middleweight as well as Martin. Okay, first show of a high level regional, and we actually just get over low level national, sorry. Pretty decent. We actually got another fantastic rated fight too. I believe that's 4 fights in a row. Few bad notes though. Berishida, who we wanted to win, loses, and also Kuroki, the old man himself, he actually beat Martin and gave him his first loss. But the weird thing about this one is that Martin done nothing the whole fight. Look, and it went to decision. He didn't throw a punch, a kick, he didn't shoot for a takedown, he didn't throw any knees, he didn't go for the grapple. He was literally the definition of a punching bag, which is very disappointing, to be honest. He was 1 or 2 fights off fighting for the middleweight title, so Kuroki's set him back big time. He is very young and he is good, so he'll get back there again at one point, most likely, before the division really fleshes out with the best middleweights in the world. He's still got time, but very annoying, to be honest. Malfi-Robbie, though, on the other hand, gets the job done. A decent main event and a poor co-main, which wasn't great, but with Eurosports cable, a decent commercial, I guess, could have been better, but decent. And with the gate, we should take decent money. Pop-wise, of course, we're not taking much. Popic, I think, pretty much gave us all the gains on Russia. And the likes of Marizina did for Europe. We cannot give Malfi-Robbie fight KO. We're not even giving KO. We can't give a decent KO. We're going to actually, and Anita can take, with the omoplata submission, I hardly ever see that. He can take submission and fight of the night has to go to Amida on his debut, beats Alderson, but there's no need to really go over these guys because they suck, to be honest. They're not great. But I feel like most of my fantastic fights come from the guys who suck. I don't know why, it's a bit weird. Okay, no one takes over 10k, which is nice. 152k at the gate and 178k on the ads, which seems to always be around that on Eurosports cable, but we take a lot of money there, which is very nice. I might also maybe try and open up an internet-based advertising company, maybe, but I don't know if it'd be worth the money. Probably not. We'll see going forward. Well, yeah, slight update from GFC 37. Dwayne, who lost to Go Yamamoto, he's out for a year. Drug suspension, recreational drugs. Not great, but it is what it is. Okay, here we go. show number 2 before we get into our first ever title defence with Rob Baines and Matthew Dean to end the episode. We got a pretty mixed card. The bottom sort of 3-4 fights is full of guys on scuff records and guys who are debuting. Nothing too crazy, honestly. So we won't really delve into them too much. But first up, fights we're concerned about. Sakata, who lost his debut, national caliber Muay Thai fighter. He's up against Jonathan Mellon, which should be an interesting one. Sakata hopefully can get the win. Benedict Straight, who I'm surprised is in this position. His job is on the line right now. If he loses this, he's going to be getting cut. And he's got a fairly even chance here. Like, he should be winning. He should be getting the job done. We also got Jeremy Stokes, who's 1-1 worldwide against Wen Yam Chim. Another meh fight, but in the top 3 is the real deals. David Carlos Ramos, 3-0, still unbeaten, against 3-0 Norberto, for one of these guys to push in to the lightweight top 5 contenders. George Laurentis, his first fight back since December, where he lost to Edalberto. We'll see if he can bounce back, just like Go Yamamoto did, where some of the other guys, I think Jeff Carlton did too, he won his fight. And he's got Bryson Evans, very, very good kung fu fighter, so that'll be a very good fight, very good battle of just pure power. And then Gunnar Nelson, who's 4-0, he's actually the Sigma heavyweight champ too. Sigma is fucking me over big time right now also, by the way. They've just booked another show, and they've literally took all my guys from heavyweight to light heavyweight. I had Edalberto booked in to fight Mark Cohn for the belt. That was the plan. And Sigma literally booked both of them to fight for Sigma's belt. And they just did it like a few months ago with Phil Vedigre and Tony McCall when I was going to have them fight for the belt too. And I can't sign the guys who also are with Sigma on exclusive deals yet, because they've only signed a contract within the last 6 months, so I need to wait till about May, June. So they're probably going to book at least 1 or 2 other shows after this one. It's so annoying, but there's nothing we can do. And then pretty much for heavyweight, if Fezzik wins against Gunnar Nelson, he's going to be fighting Tony McCall, since we can't do it with Phil Vedigre now for the time being. Alright, here we go. Not too many surprises. We had a few guys get their first victories and stuff. But the fights we're concerned about is Benedict Street actually lost. So that means we're cutting him. We gave him a chance because he lost 3 fights in a row. But because he won his first fight here, and he's actually good, he's not bad. Like, he should not be losing 4 fights in a row, especially with the guys we matched him up against. But it's happened. He's lost, so he's getting cut. Probably the first guy that gets cut. That's kind of a surprise in a sense, but it is what it is. Luckily, Sakata, unanimous decision win against Jonathan Mellon to get his first pro win. Wen Yan Chim also won, which is actually really good for us, because this win will boost him around 10th middleweight, and he's got nuclear with Martin Staskuskas, or whatever you say. And Martin, of course, as we know, lost his last fight, so I'm going to match these two up, and it's probably going to be our first ever nuclear fight. It'll probably be main event too, because Martin's got good name value in Europe, which will spill over to the UK, so I'm excited to book that in. I'm really glad actually that when Yam won. I mean, he's going to get absolutely destroyed. It's going to be a one-away fight against Martin, but for name value and draw, it could literally carry one of our cards, pretty much, that main event alone, which is always good. David Carlos Ramos stays unbeaten and hands Norberto his first loss in a split decision win. It was really a case of Norberto was winning the ground game, but David Carlos Ramos was doing all the damage standing up, and it proved to be decisive. We also had Bryson Evans get knocked out by George Laurent as he bragged afterwards, as he does. And Gunnar Nelson, the Sigma heavyweight champ, suffers his first career loss to the hands of Fezzik, who stays unbeaten, and he's basically just slowly getting his grip on that heavyweight title. Tony McCall has nowhere to run now after Fezzik wins this. Almost 1,700 people watching too. and we only hit 50%. It's because obviously with our recent boost up, Euro Sports Cable was on this card too, so pop wasn't great. As for, we didn't get a fantastic this time. We were on a little bit of a roll there with getting fantastic rated fights, but George Laurent will of course take... No, wait. No, we'll give him KO. Actually, yeah. Submission can go to... Yeah. Balin, and we'll also give George fight of the night, why not? So yeah, not bad. We make 339k, just over 200k on the ads, which is huge. I wonder how much we'll get with the title fight next, because that's on Euro Sports Cable too. Because that's like, I think that's high level national. So let's chit chat, let's get into it. I'm excited. Alright, here we go. The third and final show of this episode. And we're starting with the first ever title defence, which comes in the favour of the middleweight class. It's Rob Baines up against Matthew Dean. There's literally no other middleweight in the world that's in the game world right now or not that he could probably have got that's a harder fight than Matthew Dean. I don't see... He's not winning. Like I said, I've never saw Matthew Dean lose. But I think the oldest I've seen him get to is in the global versus 27 or 28. He's still been pretty young. The guy's a monster among men. But we'll see. You never know. We got unbeaten Roberto Aldes as well, who's just inside the top 10. I like Roberto, actually. I don't remember ever using him before, but he's pretty decent. And he's up against Christophe Lacazette, who's also unbeaten. Takes away a lot of money, Christophe, if he wins. Then we got Ricardo Fernandez, which is his first fight back after losing to Jim Carpenter. He's fighting Atika, so he should get the win, Ricardo. Gage Rosignol is fighting the bare knuckle fighter out of Switzerland, the G-Force Rodolphe, who won his debut. So we'll see if Gage can get the win. Fatuma Roy's getting his second pro fight, hoping to keep the winning way going. Loretto Callens, the world kickboxer with no ground game, a bit like Gage. He's in action. Hopefully he can get his first win. We also got Tamura, who's debuting at heavyweight, who's pretty decent. I remember he used to cause a lot of my heavyweights issues on the last save, so I'm sure there'll be more of the same. You know, he loves to strike headhunter, zombie. He's basically he'll press until he beats you down. Hard guy to beat. Then we got Boring Boniek. If he beats this guy, he's getting cut, basically. I believe Zach might be getting cut. Yeah, if Zach loses to Tamura, he'll be getting cut too. And then Noxard, of course, who had a back-to-back fight with Maruseva. He should really be getting cut, actually. Noxard, he should have been cut already. I think I kept him because it was the same guy he lost to twice, but if Pruitt beats him, he's out, and then the first fight is basically 2-0 and two guys, so he'll also be out if they lose. Big favourite Fernando wins this one, great rated fight, which means Morita is out. Noxard also lost unanimous decision. The home country man himself, he's also out. Pruitt picks up the win, his first pro win of his career too, being the big underdog. Boring Boniek also picks up the win. It's a guillotine first round finish, good rating, to pick up his third win of his career. While on his debut, the big favourite Tamura, it only took him 30 seconds to finish Zach. Another Scotsman, just like Knox, is also getting cut after this card. Well, second time of asking, Loretto finally gets his debut. Well, not his debut. Well, I guess technically his first win. Knockout kick in the second round. Only gets a decent rating, but he gets the job done nonetheless and calls out Martin, who will definitely be fighting Wenyam Chim in his next fight. Chin. He'll probably be main eventing that fight too on one card coming up soon. Great rated first round submission for Fatuma Roy to get back-to-back wins. He's starting a little bit of a momentum here, which is nice. Oh, and he calls out Christopher Sharp, who I believe also debuted in the game world at the exact same month as Fatuma. So Christopher will have I think he's got a 2-0 record as well. Could be an interesting fight later on down the line. Well, slight underdog, Gage actually gets the win in this one. Good rated first round finish. We did manage to renegotiate with Gage too, so he doesn't make a ridiculous amount of money per fight. Before he was on 20k or 25 before he even gets his win bonus. So when he wins a fight, he was taking home 60k. But now, I believe he's only going to get about 20. He's still obviously, he gets a lot of money still, but nowhere near as much as he did before, which will help me in my finances, especially we have a few big paying guys on this card. It's a nice bounce back win too for Ricardo, because he's not exactly getting any younger, so his time's sort of running out when it comes to getting a rematch for the title. He does go 6-1 though. He was the big favourite, so no real surprises on this one. Well, Lacazette picks up his first career loss, so he will not be taking away an extra 10-15k win bonus on this one. It's the sniper Aldes who goes 4-0 and beats him. Very big win too for Roberto to push him even further up the rankings. Alright, here we go. I feel like we've kind of said enough, honestly, for this one. We all know what's happening. 6-0 again, 6-0. Matthew Dean could be the champ at 21 years old, which is just crazy. Let's just get this over with and see if Rob Baines can survive 5 rounds. Well, yeah, it was pretty much 5 rounds of the Matthew Dean show. Yeah, 5 rounds to 0. Matthew Dean on our first ever title defence across all weight classes. Rob Baines won't make history today, sadly, in being the first ever successful defence of a title as the architect. No, it's not the architect. What am I talking about? But he only gets an average as expected. Baines did try quite a few submissions, which I thought was pretty funny. Yeah, 5. And I wasn't even worried, and I don't know why. It would have been crazy if Baines managed to get him in an armbar and make Matthew Dean submit. That would have been crazy. I would have fucking been screaming and woke the whole neighbourhood up, probably. But pretty good show overall. Also, GFC Dojo is one of the teams I've created that's basically, it's like a very average, below average camp, but it hosts a lot of fighters. It's so guys in my game world in the UK have like an easy group to join. Basically, don't really know why Matthew Dean's in it. I don't really know how the whole teaming thing works in the game, but regardless, we take a shit ton in attendance here. 2.1. We almost hit high level. We just hit under high level national. The draw of this was high level national, but because of the other fights, it's dropped a little bit. But the biggest attendance ever. We take away 0.5% again in popularity. As for fights, we will give. You know what? You can take fight of the night, but give Fatuma for the triangle with arm bar. He can take submission. And KO can go to, yeah, you can take KO. Let's see how much we make. Because we're paying out, some of these guys made a lot of money. Oofed. Okay, I wasn't expecting that much. Wow, ads and subs was 300k. But like I said, the Gage with his win, Christoph won, Matthew Dean, who of course has a new contract, actually, when we hit high level regional. Matthew Dean, Rob Baines too. Yeah, okay, we paid out a lot of money, but we made it so much. That's really good. That's going to help a lot on our bid to making our own broadcaster. But next show, guys, we have the first ever welterweight title defence with Jim Carpenter defending against Walter May, the countryman himself, the first ever Scotsman to fight for a title. And we'll see how that one goes. But until then, you guys take it easy.